Hi guys, I hope you are well on that rainy Thursday here in France. Probably not the case in Greece, I guess. But I wanted to share some thoughts about after that victory in Crete on Monday. And the first one will be probably that's the kind of win that decides a championship for me, because we all know how difficult it is to win in Crete. OFI has beat Ajax and Power prior to us this season. And I remember also that loss with Martin's first season when Yaya Toure came back. And it's a place in which, if you're not prepared, you're not living with a victory. So those 3 points are nicely welcome, first of all. But a part of that, the manner was also very pleasant because we sealed that victory very quickly. Personally, I was not stressed for a single second yesterday because I don't remember us conceding many situations, probably not much than two or three dangerous situations, if not less. And the clean sheet is good too because we've been struggling with the defense since a lot of time this season. And I have to say, Poroso coming into the team, not back because he wasn't the starter before, looks like for the moment what we needed, because we've been talking a lot about Ndoye before, the way he plays, the way he defends. And my point is to say Poroso is a real defender, is a real center back. He has been trained as a center back for years, compared to Ndoye, which is probably much more number 6 than a center back. And Poroso too is able to win duel with his body, his physics, because he's very tall, he's powerful, but it's not as aggressive as Ndoye, because we all know Ndoye main weakness, or at least for me, is the way he uses his aggressivity to defend, and many times it causes falls. Uh, it it's something you need to improve, but I'm not sure it will, because it's not very easy to become a center back, and we know that in Olympiakos expectations are very high. And so yeah, Poroso, it was the second game in a row for him, second good game in a row for him. That's a clean sheet too. The defense was okay. Kini playing as a right back had a decent game. He had a nice shot at the end, could have been a very wonderful goal, but he's probably more comfortable playing as a right back too, because that's his position stuff. But also the midfield, the other thing I wanted to say is that when Madi plays like that in Greece or in Europe, but more specifically in Greece, he can overpower a midfield by himself. Because look at the first goal. It's basically Madi winning back the ball, running, and then making a very good pass on the right side for Kini. And it's exactly what we were waiting from Madi, and it's exactly why it's very difficult to replace a player like that. Last season, we did not really have that. We had Mvila, which is a different profile. We had Wong, which is another different profile. But Madi looks like the kind of player that is able to do the work of a number 6, also the work of a number 8. And I know he hadn't had good games back to back, but there is no debate about Madi in Greece and how he can be useful for the team. And I know he's also out of contract in June. Personally, I don't have many hopes for him to stay, because it makes no sense for Madi to stay in Greece for 1 or 2 seasons more. And it doesn't make any sense for Olympiakos philosophically to keep Madi other from having a good sale. So probably he will stay until June and leave on a free. I wouldn't be mad if he leaves on a free. He deserves to go elsewhere, I guess, in a better league, and I will be happy with what he did for Olympiakos. Also, I don't really think that selling him in January is a good solution, because it's very difficult to replace players in January. We all know that. Third point will be Podense. Podense is what Podense is. It's like probably the best player in Greece right now. But I would just wanted to highlight the fact that he improved so much in his finishing, because if you all remember how he was when he came to Olympiakos, he was already that player, that magic player with a lot of technical skills, the way he was able to dribble player, to create differences. And he was the major threat of Olympiakos, and he still is. But the fact that he went to a Premier League and went back to Olympiakos before being washed makes a fucking huge difference. A huge, huge difference. Because I won't name all the players that went back to Olympiakos in the past, but we've seen that it can be very difficult when the player comes back out of shape, when he comes back too late in his career. And the same apply for Red Sox, I would say, because Red Sox came back very young. He can still improve, and I think he's a decent solution. But on Pudense, the thing is already at 6 goals, if I'm not wrong. He probably will be at 10 goals, 10 assists by the end of the season, if not more. And he's doing what we were expecting to do, like a player that came to Olympiakos to make a difference, and that makes a difference. And hopefully it will continue, and we will need him in Europe to get out of that group in Europa League, because again, West Ham, but against also Topola at home, we need probably 2 more wins to get through, if not 3. So let's see if he can help us to do that. And also a player that was pleasant to see last night was Hees. I think we can say that Hees will turn to be one of the best transfer for Olympiakos, because the first thing Hees has is, well, when you're Argentinian, you have that stamp to go to a big league, because the club will pay money for Argentinian players. They have that hype, and it's easier to sell later. And a part of that, he has that potential, that level, that profile that is not really common in football. And yesterday, Fortunis and Rodine were missing, and so it was 2 key players missing. But we did not feel that 2 key players was missing, because Hees is everywhere on the pitch. He's on the right side, he's on the midfield. He can go further on the pitch too if needed. And it's fair to say that he has been very good since he came. Of course, he had ups and downs like every players, but it was good. And I do believe that the best is yet to come, because that kind of players, they need to get adjusted to European football. They need to get adjusted to the Greek football, to the Greek society, to the Olympiakos reality. And I think the best is yet to come. I'm not sure he would stay more than 1 season with Olympiakos, but until June, we need to enjoy Hees, because it's the kind of player that won't last long in Greece. That you can see it when you touch the ball, when he run on the pitch, the football IQ he has is very high, and it's a good value on the market. On the negative part, I would say probably Solbakken was a deception last night, because he was given the chance to start the game. We all know that we have probably too many players on the offensive zone, with Biel, Fortunis, Karpa, Solbakken, Jovetic, Brnic, Masuras, even Vrusai, and player. We have probably more than 10 players for 3 or 4 positions, and I think it's too much, but it's up to Martinez to take care of that. And I think he took care of that, because he gave opportunity on Crete. We won. Some player had minutes to show they can offer something, but I don't really think that Solbakken took that opportunity, because he was neither good nor bad. He had a average performance, and we know that in Olympiakos you need more than that if you want to have another chance. Basically, he would have needed to score yesterday to give Martinez the credit, to make Martinez think twice when he had to decide his lineup. And the same applies for Biel on another topic, because I do believe Biel is gone mentally, as Zinkernagel was during the summer preparation, because I'm not sure. Probably, maybe he was affected by the first season he was in Greece, and it would be totally understandable given the shit show last season was. But the way he came in yesterday, he was that annoying again. Like he had, he wasn't able to pass a dribble. He wasn't able to have a nice shot. Wasn't able to show he can offer something on this team because no, the role he had last season is taken by Podense, of course, but also Fortuny is no the leader, the offensive leader of the team. So there is no room left for Biel except if he plays on the side or maybe on this 4-4-2 alongside to the striker. But I think Martinez prefers Masuras, and given what we saw last night, even if Masuras wasn't that amazing, it makes sense for Martinez to choose Masuras over Biel. And yeah, the mental thing, the way the body language, the way he behave, it's frustrating and it shows that he's probably gone. Hopefully, I'm wrong because I do believe during the season we will need BL. We have plenty of games to win. We have plenty of games in which we need to score, and we all know BL has that quality to score against smaller teams, for example. And those wins make a champion. So we will need BL over the season, but I'm sure it won't be there uh, in next September, and it makes sense for that. Also, the thing that was interesting in Crete was Jovetic playing as a nine, and I do believe Jovetic is not a pure nine. Is not someone that will be the main striker for Olympiakos because I don't really know what position he could be playing in, but he's probably more a 10 than a 9 or maybe a half past 9 if it makes sense because sometimes that word is used in football. But what I do liked yesterday, first of all, was the assist he gave to Podense because uh, it shows that he's not selfish. He prioritized the team over himself because he needs goal like every offensive player, but he do needs goal. He could have been trying to score, but he gave the ball to Podense, and it shows that the Martinez was able and is able to create a team, a group, if I can say that, and Jovetic is part of that. His profile is very different from El Kaabi, and I do believe if Fortunis came back, because he's due to come back probably on Sunday against PAOK, alongside to Podense, I would be willing to see, for example, Jovetic play against PAOK because PAOK, you don't really know exactly how they could end up in Karaiskakis, but it's a team we have to win, even with no fans, because they just lost to AEK away. They have a second away big game, and Jovetic has that technical quality that is needed in games like that for me. I wouldn't play him in every game because you need sometimes El Khabi's activity, the way he runs, the way he press, the way he fights for every ball, the way he can finish inside the area. But Jovetic offers something very different, and it was interesting to see what it is yesterday. And I do believe is will be called to do that again very soon because the season, as I said that before for BL, the season is very long. We need players like that over a season because you have smaller games, you have games in which you will operate rotation, you have cut games too, even if we have to face Panathinaikos. And we all know Jovecic's quality. We all know his resume. We all know the leagues he played in. So it's up to him to take that opportunity, and he will have more for sure in the future. And maybe I will end up with some praise for Ortega because we all remember the Kini's game in Serbia, and lots of Kini's game as a left back were quite disappointing. But no, it seems that we have the main left back we were waiting since Oleg left. And it's too early to say if it's the one that will replace Tsimikas, but for sure he offers that offensive uh, that offensive role that also is very aggressive. He's fighting for every ball, so he's not only some left back that attacks. He can defend too, and I think he would just get better over the time. and that's why that night in Crete probably showed that the team is heading toward the right direction. Of course, we can lose game. We will probably lose game during the season. We won't be able to win every single one of them, but this trip in Crete was a good way to check if the team was ready. And I do believe that at the end of October, it's fair to say that I'm more than pleased with what Martinez did. I, I do not agree with everything he did. I still have that game in Serbia in mind. Also, some game in which he made poor subs, and it will happen again because every coach make mistakes. But the team itself, the club itself, is going toward the good direction, and hopefully, the future will confirm that, because we've seen the beginning of this league, and it will be very tough to win it this season. We will need not to drop any point on the road, and we avoided that in Crete, so that's a good thing.